The acting director of the U.S. Secret Service spoke today, outlining the agency's failures during the assassination attempt on Donald Trump in Pennsylvania 2 months ago. Ronald Rowe said the Secret Service plans on making changes to its protocols. Journalist Benji Heyer has more from Washington.
Well, this press conference was really twofold. One was looking back at the events of the day, but also looking at the next steps going forward. The Secret Service has been reviewing what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, when, of course, Donald Trump experienced that brush with death, the bullet going past his right ear as he took to the stage. And there have been findings, initial findings from that report, which shows, quote, failings on account of the Secret Service. The acting director acting, of course, because the director at the time resigned following the incident. He said that the Secret Services agency was responsible for that site plan and making sure that the rally was safe for the former president and for attendees. But due to, I should say, communication deficiencies, information about the gunman who was lying on that rooftop a few hundred feet from Donald Trump, that information, he says, was siloed. And whilst issues were acknowledged, we've heard police radio at the time notifying that there is a potential shooter in the vicinity. The problem was that that information was not actually acted upon, and the problems were not mitigated within that very short time frame from finding out there could be a threat to, of course, that shooting occurring. He said this is mainly down to a lack of communication, a lack of clear directions between his organisation and police, local law enforcement there, and he also puts the blame down to complacency within the ranks of the Secret Service.
And so what kind of changes did he say the Secret Service is going to make?
Right, when that was the big question, right? So he wants the agency to be more agile, to enhance the protection given towards the likes of Donald Trump and move from this state of reaction, he says, to readiness. But to make that happen, he said during this press conference that he requires additional resources and personnel. Take a listen.
Our personnel have been in a state of hypervigilance following July 13th. We are certainly working our people hard, and I've used this term publicly, redlining. This cannot be about working our people harder.
And, of course, to make sure that they continue to protect the president to the higher standards that are now required, he says there will be training more personnel, but there'll be no dropping in standards as that happened. Other operational changes too, other tech to help with communications, and they will be bound by law now to beef up those protections for President Donald Trump, make them on the level they are for President Joe Biden, following lawmakers passing a bill this morning in Congress which will require the agency to do so. But the scrutiny is not over. More hearings taking place on Capitol Hill next week. And of course, the campaign continues. The pressure to protect the main candidates, including Vice President Kamala Harris, will continue for the Secret Service.
Journalist Benji Heyer in Washington.